Hello guys, I'm URK18CS074. Today I'll be talking about experimentally in Python programming lab, which is file handling systems. So let's read the first question. Write a Python program to read first n lines of a file. So yes. So yeah, let's go to the compiler. As you can see here, there's the first code for the question. So what I'm doing here right now is I'm opening the file to the compiler so it can access the file. So next I'm going to read each and every line. This dot read lines is going to return a list of a list of statements, a list of strings of the each and every line in the text file. So I'm going to ask user to give two inputs. One is starting of the line, another is ending of the line. So using a for loop, I'm going to print those lines which are in this lines array. So I'm going to print the first because this is included and this is not included. I'm going to add one to the uh, higher range, so it's going to print the last element too. So let's see in the text file. So these are the text in the text file. So the starting point will be 0, which takes the 0th element of the list, which is nothing but the first line, remember, and I'm going to print till 3. So yeah, let's go to the text. So 0th line is line 0, obviously. So till 3, it's like you get 4 lines, which is 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's for the first question. Let's go to the second question. So the second question is write a Python program to find the longest word. This is interesting. So yeah, I'm going to use the same, as you can see, wait. Yeah. So this is the text in the file, so it will be easy for us to see. So what I'm doing is the same thing. I'm going to read lines because I want this list with all the strings in that particular text file. So I'm going to I'm going to just initiate a string with 0 as null, not null, yeah, an empty string. Makes sense. So using a for loop, I'm going to iterate. Using a for loop, I'm going to iterate through every line in the string. So for example, so what this actually does is this line, it's going to take this entire one and it's going to make it as a list element. So this lines list is going to have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements in it. So each element is this line 0, line 1, line 2, and longest. So what I'm doing in this first for loop is I'm going to take one line from this list of lines. Let's say this is the first line that's going to be selected. And what I'm doing in the next command is I'm going to split that line. So I'm going to get each and every individual string in that statement. So first I will get hello. So once I get that, I'm going to use an inner for loop, nested for loop, to access that word in nothing but this words. This is going to return you a string. Yeah. So for this particular string, a list of strings. Sorry. Yeah, this is going to return you a list of strings. So in the first iteration, the words contain hello. This is line 0. So what happens in the second for loop is we're going to take hello first. So if the length of word, which is length of hello, is greater than length of long, which is obviously greater because this is a empty string whose length is 0. So what happens here is the first initiated string, which is empty string, the word whose length is greater is going to be assigned to that string. So now it's going to be hello. So hello is, so after this two loops end, the highest will be line 0, and after this it will be line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. It goes, and when you go to the last line, when you go to the last, so in this the word is going to be longest once it's this. So lines /5 I mean, line hyphen 5 is obviously less string value than the longest. So what happens here is it's going to be replaced with the longest because the length of longest is greater than this thing. So let's run this. See, the length of the word is longest, and that's and its length is, yeah. So you can see here the longest word is longest, and its length is 11. So yeah, that's for the second question. Let's go to the third question. So write a function to capitalize lowercase word that takes all the words from the file and returns the word to the first letter capitalized. Yeah, you get this. So this question, you're going to read each and every word, in that file, and that word's first letter should be capitalized, and it should be written in another file. Yeah. So obviously I'm going to take two files, which is file 1 and file 2 q3.txt. Yeah. So this file has north, east, west, south, up, down, left, right, white, black. Remember, no capital words in this file. So I'm just going to truncate it for every iteration because it's not going to append over it. Anyways, I'm writing right here. So first I'm going to read the lines in the file z, file.readlines, which is q3.txt. So I'm going to read the lines in this file, which is going to return this entire line as a list. So after getting this, the same thing, I'm going to access each and every word in the list. So for x in z means the first iteration I'm going to get north. So once I get north, I'm going to split it. So once I there is need. Yeah. So once I split it, then I'm going to get the north. Yeah, first is going to return the entire list. Yeah, now I'm going to get the north. So once I get the north, there is this function in Python where you can input a string and with lowercase letters, and once it comes out, it's going to be higher uppercase. So in this case, it's going to be north, which goes in first and comes out as uppercase N north. So once I get the uppercase north, I'm going to write it to another file, which is file 1, which is q3. So let me just erase this. Yeah, so you can see, then I'm going to write a space, so it will be exactly like the previous one. So once I finish everything, once I finish this loop, I'm going to print before capitalizing and after capitalizing. Let's run this. So see, it's going to be written. Yeah. So, yeah, what happened right now is before capitalizing is just north, east, west, south, up, down. So after we capitalize, it's capital and everything. So let's go to the fourth question. Write a Python program to extract the word starting with vowels. Yes. So as you can see here, after we extracted, we were asked to write into another file. So I took two files. So this I created a string which contains A, E, I, O, U. I'll show you why. So after this, I'm going to read the files. All this is common for every question. So I'm going to read the file, which is q4.txt. So this is apple, banana, carrot, berries, egg, fruit, A, E, I, O, U. So just to give how it's taken, I just wrote all those. So for x and z, it's the same thing. We're going to split. So first, what we'll get this whole string as a list. Whole things in a list. So once you split it, we get apple, banana, dewberries, each as a different thing. So once we get each as a different thing, now we're going to iterate through A. So why in A? If I'm just assigning, just to remove the symmetricity in this. So for ELE in S. So if there is for ELE in S, Yeah, so I just used one thing for in S. What is S in here? So S is this for if there is an ELE in S, if Z starts with ELE, if it starts with ELE, ELE is nothing but AEIOU. So if it starts with AEIOU, I'm going to write it to another file, which is file1. So every time it takes a word, it checks if it starts with AEIOU, and if it does, I'm going to write it to a different file. So let's see. Uh, this is the output file. I'm going to remove this. Save it. And now let me run. Yeah. So after filtering in Q4, there is apple, ovals, egg, fruit, which start with an oval. AOU, and this, as you can see here, it's again here. So let's go with the question 5. So this question 5, we are asked to write this particular line. So you see here, I differentiated everything now. So first I open the file, I write this entire line which was given in the question. So after writing, we were asked to calculate the number of lowercase and uppercase letters. So based on the ASCII values, I looped and if cased each and every character to check whether it's lowercase or uppercase, and if it's lowercase, I incremented lower, and if it's an uppercase, I incremented upper. So what I did is just z is equal to file dot read, which returns an entire. It just returns a huge string. So in that huge string, we just iterated to that huge string, which we get individual characters. So it's the same thing. And in the question 3, we were asked the class to occurrence. So there is the simple function in Python. So once you read the file as an entire string, this returns as an entire string. So little count is equal to k dot count. So we can count this entire string how many times k dot count the string you want to count. That's going to print. And the question 4, copy all the uppercase. As you can see here, what logic I used in the fourth question, I did the same here too. So I just read in everything, and if this is a lowercase condition, if it's an uppercase condition, which is this 65 to 90, so I'm going to write it into a different file. And once I write it in a different file, I'm going to print each and everything, every content in the different file. So let me run this. Yeah. So let's see here, the number of uppercase are 12, which is exactly the case. The number of lowercase is 192. The number of times the word little occurred 2. And the content, the content of the file after copying, which contains all the uppercase letters, are I, double M, quadruple I, double M, and triple I. So thank you. This is for the third experiment in Python program. Thank you.